Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stand Up Sit Down. I'm your host, Nick Perdue, and on today's show, I had the hilarious Nick Alexander. Stay tuned.
You are now tuned in to Black Hollywood Live. Stand up, sit down.
There it is.
Hey,
There it is.
woo.
Yeah.
I told you this was gonna be a good interview now if you played my song. I'm ready to go now.
You just out here looking for revenge.
I'm
huh?
looking for revenge, man.
Okay.
Somebody in LA, they robbed me for like $5 on the bus a few years back.
Yeah.
He beat me in a card game. I was like, he's one of those brothers that make you feel like you can win it, and then you win it when you don't put money in.
Right.
And then I
Right.
put some money in and lost that 20. I was like,
So you out here looking for revenge.
I'm out here looking for him, man.
Nick Alexander, man, what's up?
What's up, Nick?
How are you?
Purdue, how you doing, brother?
You know, you are one of the guys
Okay.
that I've seen, because I've never seen you nor met you in person prior to today.
Today, we were
Right.
like Facebook, online.
Right.
Man. That
Right.
online, that social media, man.
This again, and it really just shows the power of social media. And so like I followed your career because I want to say I either saw you on like one of Ida's post or something, like she had like linked up with you or something. Or
Shout
it
out
was-
to
or it was-
Ida
or it was
Rodriguez. Yeah.
and I was like, okay, who is this kid?
All right.
You know, his name is Nick.
Yeah.
And I think it was just me of like, I could only be the funny Nick. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right,
there's
right,
only
yeah.
one Nick that could
Who
be
is
funny.
this other
Right.
other guy?
Right.
Because you know Ida, so it's like, yeah, she's bigging up some other Nick. What's going on here?
Right.
I put in years to be the only Nick that matters in her life.
Yeah. She was, and because she was the first guest on this show.
She was the first.
She
guest?
was,
Wow.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you go back and dig into the archives,
I'm gonna
she's
watch
the
it.
first one.
And I'm not saying this just because you got me on the show and you're having me as a guest. I really like when we started following each other. I watched this show. I watched at least 10 interviews.
Wow,
I've seen Tony Baker's, Justin Hires, Tiffany Haddish, Shang. There's like all my real close friends and some people who I just cared to see what they were talking about on the interview. I really dig the show, man. You know, I click when you post, man. I click on that link and watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
And you're here now.
And I'm here, man. I live in LA now.
So let's get into it, because this is, you just moved, but you're a New York dude.
I'm a New York dude. Yeah.
What was that? What was New York like growing up?
New York was great growing up, man. I had a dope childhood. My mom, I was raised by my mom and my grandmother primarily. Like I grew up in Queens. My mom just would take me out. We'd go to Yankee games, just hanging out in the city in Times Square, Disney, ESPN Zone. You know, just a lot of movies, a lot of just. I got to go sleep over at my friend's house, stay up late, watch wrestling. I had a very
So you was
cool
just a
childhood.
kid, yeah.
I was a kid enjoying life. We uprooted to Florida. I lived in South Florida, like Hollywood, Broward County, if you're familiar. It's close to Miami, but not exactly Miami. And I did middle school, high school, and that's when life kind of took a turn for the worse. Yeah, not all the way worse, but just it was different because it was like I left all my family and friends in New York.
Right.
I had to really get adjusted to the South and how the culture.
different.
The culture's different, man.
Yeah.
It was gold teeth and dreads and dudes with boxers and dicky pants.
Yeah.
And with what they do, shout it, and I don't see you, dog. And I'm trying to figure out lingo as I'm fighting people. Like one time, a dude I was fighting like this cat, and he was just like, "Yo, man, I don't see you, bro. I don't see you, bro." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm right here. What you want to do?" And everybody like started laughing mid tension because it was just like I didn't know, and. And my mom, that's probably the first time I experienced some hard times with my mom. Like she had lost some jobs, and we were kind of like moving around in between places, and then we settled into a spot. But it was like a 1-bedroom. I lived in a 1-bedroom with my mom. There was 2 beds in the room. Me and my mom were roommates for my high school duration. We shared a closet and a bathroom, so you
That's
can
a little weird.
imagine.
That's a little weird, huh?
It's a little weird, man. I mean, it's like we still managed to get along for the most part. Like we didn't kill each other, but we had some close fights by the end of the year. Like it was like I go to New York for the summer because we were just like,
Right.
yeah, you fucking. It was like, what'd you say to me? I was like, you heard what I said. And but other than that, man, I made some great friends and who I still see to this day. I'm still cool with. When I go down to Florida, I visit for like a week or two. I have my sister. Who lives there with her folks, so we've gotten closer because I got like, I have a lot of half siblings on my dad's side, so I have like a 21-year-old sister, and then my dad's on his 3rd wife and his 2nd family, so
Jeez.
he has a 2-year-old and a baby boy on the way. Wow. So I'm getting used to my new family, but he's not here. He's in Haiti actually, because my folks are from Haiti. My dad especially, he's Haiti.
I see.
So yeah.
So he's having a good time in Haiti, apparently.
He's having a great time in Haiti, man. He just turned 51 yesterday, and he's still popping them kids out.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's one way to do it.
Right. This has nothing to do with anything, but I just feel like making fun of this. Like, he only has one working testicle, and he's still popping these kids out. Because he got hit in the nuts when he was little playing soccer, and then they told him that only one testicle works. Like, the other one is no good, but he still popped out kids, yo.
Yeah,
that's incredible. I just feel like I'm proud. I feel like a proud son.
Which will probably, I guess, mean that now all your sperm is like super strong now too. So
because I got 2 balls working. So I just gotta be careful with my shots.
You gotta wrap it up, man.
I gotta be careful with my shots.
Out here in these Hollywood streets, you know what I'm saying? These women out here.
The come up women are out here, man.
Yeah.
I see them because I see them going after my more successful comedian friends. I'm just like on the side, just like clocking and watching them and laughing. You know what I mean? Kind of like hating, but kind of laughing.
Well, I mean, and you can still catch a little runoff.
You can catch it, but that's after they're done with such and such, and they got a meal from him and bottles from him and rent paid from them, and then maybe they'll talk to you.
I mean, you can pay for an Uber or something.
I could definitely get you on that Uber pool, baby.
Right?
What's good?
You know what I'm saying?
You need an Uber pool?
Yeah.
$8 to a real nigga.
That's it.
Can we curse on the show?
You can say whatever you want to say.
Okay, all right. Just making sure I respect.
This is FCC internet, so
nice. I can't believe there's different internets now. So there's a clean internet, or.
No, I mean, there probably is.
Yeah.
But this show, here's the thing, because I'm all for freedom of speech.
Right.
So if you need to throw a bitch in there just to add to the punchline,
yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
Go ahead and do it. All right. I don't need to add the bitch in the punchlines, but I'm glad that I have bitches as options to put in my punchlines.
Just you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you could pepper them in a little bit.
Right. Sprinkle some bitches in there.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out to the bitches though.
What got you started in stand-up?
Okay, it's like 2 core things. When I was like 11 or 12, my mom, I was a big fan of Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the 90s movies and the 80s movies because my parents showed me the Beverly Hills Cops and the 48 Hour stuff, so I like that, and the Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle because I was obviously a kid growing up to that. And then my mom told me how he did stand-up back in the day. Like, he said before he was this, he used to be on Saturday Night Live doing characters, and he did stand-up. He was hilarious. And I was like, well, really? What is stand-up? I want to see it. And my first introduction to stand-up was Eddie Murphy Raw. Wow. 11 years old, watching Eddie Murphy Raw. Wow. Changed my life. Just like,
yeah, it did.
To this day, like everybody has their favorite, or when they say what's the best special, my favorite special of all time is Eddie Murphy Raw. Like, it's always gonna I love Eddie, and I've watched all the greats, and I have their specials too, but it's just because of what that did for me in terms of just stand up and seeing him just do that thing in the garden in the purple suit with the fade and the ring and the gloves. I dug it, so that's still my favorite. I can still laugh to it. And then the second thing, so, I'm watching, high school coming up is like Def Jam, Bad Boys of Comedy, Comedy Central Premium Blend. I'm watching a lot of stand-up, and YouTube is coming out, so you get to see everybody's old stuff. And then the summer I graduated from high school, Seth Rogen had Funny People. Remember the movie Funny People? Yeah. And me and my cousins went to that, and the stand-up was horrible. And I love Seth Rogen, but the stand-up was just awful. And I was telling my cousins, like, yo, I could do that, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that bug was just catching me. I was like, yo, I could do that. I'm coming back to New York. I'm gonna start going to school here. I could probably figure out like how to get into stand-up. And I was watching like a lot of Inside the Actor Studio, you know, and James Lipton, interviewing Eddie and Chris and Carlin and Robin Williams. And I was just like, yeah, man, I got to try this. So I was in school I was in community college, and then they had an open mic. And I was just like, I'm gonna do stand-up, and everybody else is doing like poetry, singing, rapping, and I just decided to do a set, and I did like a little 3 minutes or whatever, and it went really well, and it just gave me the confidence to just start Googling how to perform in the city and learning about open mics and the bringer shows, and I was doing a little bit here and there for like probably 5-6 months, and then I went hard after that. That started 2009 when I first got on stage, at the end of 2009 fall, and I've been going hard since like 2010. So just Right. So Eddie Murphy Raw and the awful stand-up and Funny People.
that was the catalyst.
That was the catalyst right there.
What? So you did stand-up at this open mic, and like, how did you know how to write a joke? You know what I mean? Like you went up there for 3 minutes. Like, what did you talk about?
I did. if being Caribbean and stuff like that, and just mimicking people, I have a good knack of how to mimic and do accents and stuff like that. So I had some accent-based jokes.
Okay.
Like I made fun of Africans, and like I had a bit that I used to do, and then I did some stuff about just some like young stupid jokes about like having a gay friend. And just like, and it just really worked. And like, it was, I don't want to do the jokes, but it was just, I knew how to do accents, and I had like a really like funny, like beginner joke about just having a gay friend when he said some really like off the cuff shit that throws you off guard. And it just, 18-year-olds gonna eat stuff like that up.
Right.
And then I had this little bit about me being Haitian, and I just, a lot of my stuff now is about, my Haitian background and my family, but like that worked, whatever I did at the time. So, and the 3 minutes just, worked really well. Just, nice. They dug it up, and I got mad love. Like, nice. Yeah.
So what was the first like actual show like? The
first actual show, do you count bringer shows as shows?
Yeah, I mean, because they're technically people that you don't know from the other comics.
That's true, right? So there was at least 24 people in my first ever show.
Okay.
I did 9 minutes, my first actual show. And he was like, probably if I watch it now, I would say it was terrible. But like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I probably was one of the better beginner comedians on that show. Like, there was a lot of people sucking. But I got laughs on my set. Right. Now obviously there was just a lot of filth and me being young and just juvenile humor, but it worked. Like, I know I got laughs, and there's something there, Right. And I just so I did. The bringer shows were cool.
9 minutes though.
Yeah, when I couldn't believe I did 9 minutes.
Yeah, like and that was like your like first like.
That was the first show. So
like
that was like Thanksgiving of that fall.
You did open mics prior to that.
I did a few mics. Yeah.
But they weren't like 9 minutes.
No, I was getting like 5. 5, 6. You pay in New York. It's a money hustle in New York on these mics. So there's like $5, 5 minutes.
Okay.
$6 and a drink.
Yeah.
5. Right. God, I don't have any of this money.
Right.
So then I was doing like 5 minute. I did a few mics before that show. And I just, they gave me time. I was supposed to do like 8-ish, and I didn't end up doing 9. When I looked on the tape, it was like 9:12 or something like that. So I was like, wow, I couldn't believe I went that long.
Yeah.
It was fun.
That was good.
It was fun. Yeah. My mom, my grandmother, my childhood friend, and his mom came to the show. They were my 4 that I brought.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So then, because that show went well.
It went well for that level I was on.
Right.
It was
that went well.
It went well.
What about the first time it didn't go so well?
First time it didn't go so well. I was at this room. It's a popular restaurant in Harlem called Sylvia's, and like I had started going up to Harlem because there was this workshop for like comics to kind of like work their stuff out and try jokes and talk about comedy, just make young comics feel comfortable, and it's black, so that was kind of cool. I'm learning about the black scene in New York, and then it was at the National Black Theater in Harlem. That's like a popular theater, and Sylvia's is like right across the street from that. So we had the guy who was our teacher, or who was who used to run the class. He hosted the room across the street. So he was like, all right, we're gonna go do Sylvia's, and some of you guys gonna get on. So I'm gonna put you on Nick. You're gonna do some time. And I was like, okay, cool. And I tried to do those jokes that I was doing at the time, and then black people was just looking at me like, who is this young nigga talking about coming on girls' hair? What's wrong with this boy? And it was just like, I was just like,
so it was
long ride back to Queens that night.
No laughs.
It was like maybe a couple of chuckles, but just staring. It was gonna get hot.
How long was that set?
Probably 5, 6 minutes.
But it felt like it was.
Felt like forever. It was just like, yo, get me out of here. And my thing is like, if you're not gonna like me, I'm just gonna keep smiling. Like, I'm just gonna be charming, try to be cute, and
right.
And because I'm like 18, 19, and so hopefully that help me.
And nothing. Nothing.
Just nothing.
What did you learn from that though?
Well, the host of the room, he's a veteran comedian named JP Justice. He's been in New York doing comedy for 20 years. Really, really funny dude. He was just telling me like, hey man, you don't have to be so dirty. Like, give yourself some room to work clean, or to use jokes where you're not talking about sex, and like go into that, because you're trying to talk about stuff that's like maybe too grown, and folks are not gonna believe you.
Right.
So just talk about just stuff that are more of age, and then you can grow into sex later on when whatever. But right now, nobody's gonna believe that coming out of your face. That Disney ass face you got. Like, nobody believing that you getting pussy. Like,
right.
So I really took that. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna cut back on really dirty jokes. I'm gonna try and just be, talk about myself, talk about other stuff. And I still cursed, but like I didn't go like Cosby clean. But it was just like, I just don't have to do that much vulgar excessive stuff, and then it kind of worked. So, you know, I still did decent sometimes at that room. Like I went back a few times and kind of like, you want to conquer that room.
Yeah, you need that redemption.
And I won them over a couple times. It was a couple okays, but I didn't do as bad as that one time where it was just like,
that's good.
This nigga here. Like, I didn't get that again, so I was happy about that.
That's good. That's good. What about hecklers though? Because I feel like the New York audience is a little more loud and a little more vulgar than, you know, these high sedity folk in LA.
Right. Well, I feel like if you go leave LA, you go to some town 30 minutes up, like Ontario, Torrance, or like you go into some of them hoods, you kind of get that same kind of people who think that they funnier than you.
Right.
Or like maybe you're in the J spot a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, in New York, you definitely would deal with some people who talk at you. Like I got one time I was doing a show, like I was getting most of the crowd, but then there was like 2 people who didn't like me and they just booed me. Like I never got like full on boos from a whole crowd. That's never happened. Not as yet, knock on wood. But yeah, it was like 2 people booing. I was like, why are you booing me? Like everybody was like, what's your problem? And he was like, oh man, you whack. I'm like, man, you whack, man. Look at you. Like, and I started snapping on him, but it was just like it was so random because it was like 4 minutes in, they started booing me, and it was just like nobody else felt that way.
Wow.
And but you do get heckled. Like I do late bar shows in the Village. You know, you do a lot of late stuff, and people come with it, and you just gotta learn how to just be quick. And I don't even know what I'd be saying half the time, but I would just try to bounce off them and engage in a conversation and until something funny comes out. And you know, some nights it was a little difficult to get the laughs, but most often than not, I was able to handle myself. But yeah, you get heckled really just a lot, especially like, and then when you do rooms, like sometimes it wasn't even heckle, sometimes people just talk on their own. Like in New York, there's like certain restaurants or spots you do where they'll just talk to their friend and just like ignore you, like they turn their back to you, and you just you're just doing it. They're just talking to you. They just chat to their friend like you ain't even there. Like it was that. Yeah, that happened a couple times too. And but
like they know that they're at a comedy.
They know they're at a show. But it's kind of like a thing that they went to eat, and then it was like, oh, we got comedy coming tonight, and it was like it imposed on their night kind of. But some people knew about the show, but then the ones who didn't was really just trying to get that convo with their girl that they ain't seen in a minute. So they don't care that you trying to live your dreams, and they're just like, well, listen, girl, this nigga been cheating on me, like, and they're just trying to have their convo, and you interrupting that shit.
Have you ever like did anything or said anything on stage that like caused someone to be like, let's go outside so we can handle this?
Fuck no. Because I got no crew, I got no team to back me up in case something go down, so I don't try to get into anything that might cause a fight or a problem, you know, because more often than not, I'm probably at a place where they got more people on there, you know, than I do. So like, it's just not even worth it to
yeah, no, I mean, like, I feel like
I don't carry a pistol on me.
Never worth it. Right.
I don't carry any weapons. I usually ride dolo, so it's just I wasn't even trying to start trouble. Like that's not my thing. I don't go that far. I don't go that hard to make a point. Like, you know, I'm gonna address you, you know, trying to mess up my set or whatever like that, and we'll go back and forth for a little bit. But if you can't be cool, then it's, you know, it's just like, all right, whatever. This dude, you got way more problems right now.
Right, you got it.
Then yeah, let me just
you gotta figure this out.
Yeah, let me just be light skinned right now.
What is your writing style like? Like how do you come up with new material and new jokes?
Okay. I wish I had that really good textbook. Like I write every day for 15, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour of notebooks. I don't do that shit. It really hits me when I'm like out and about. Like when I'm in the house, I can't think of stuff. It's really like I'm usually waiting for the train. I spend a lot of nights waiting for the train or going somewhere. And when I like something, an idea, something happens, it just has to make me laugh. And then if I can recite it and it keeps making me laugh, and I don't care if I'm laughing in public, like, and I'm just like giggling to myself, like talking in my head, but I'll just keep working out the thought, and then I'll try it on stage. And it, you know, most of the time it usually works. Like some stuff it does, some stuff doesn't. But yeah, it's just like I have to just like it and be infatuated with what the situation or the scenario is, and then I just like talk about it. Like I'm like working out a joke now, or I talk about how like my grandmother's the most non-wasteful person ever, like I've ever dealt with. And this was a recurring thing from my childhood, and it came up like a few weeks ago where I just had to start talking about it, where like, you know how when you people throw out toothpaste, when they squeeze, people don't squeeze, well, they just like jam it up and then they throw it away because they don't think there's any more toothpaste left. Right. My grandmother's the type that will not let you throw away that toothpaste. Like she's like, you got to cut in the middle and dig in. And then, you know, and my grandmother has an accent, so she's like, you're not digging in, Nicola. You have to dig in the toothpaste. You have to dig inside. That's 8 more brushes, you know. And I I don't know. It was just she yelled at me for throwing out toothpaste, and then I just added that stuff. I just started thinking about how much she goes hard to yell at me about fucking toothpaste.
Right.
And like now that's like it's been working really good, and that's like one of my newest jokes, just about how just her just really going hard for goddamn toothpaste. Like
toothpaste is expensive, you know what I mean? So
now that I'm paying for shit on my own, it is. I get it now. I'm digging in hard now. Like I cut my shit up 4 ways. You know, I'm getting every last little nook.
Yeah.
You know, so. But at the time, I didn't get that before. But so that's something like that. Like it was just, her pressing issue on the toothpaste, and I just started thinking about that, and I just started thinking about like how things the alternatives, what you do with it, and it just came to my head to just make fun of how she talks about how to save toothpaste, and it was just So it's like.
So then, when do you know that a joke is like ready? You're like, okay, like this is ready for me to put together for like a package or to put together on television or something. Like, how do you know when it's
So you're gonna have me back when I have more TV credits and I can tell you when I know more jokes are TV ready? Because I only got like one or two like things I've done that's considered, I guess, a stand-up TV credit. I mean, I would always just say the jokes that I've been doing for a few years that I just know works all the time. I would say that like I can do it in my sleep. I just know how to it gets off and it'll work. Even if I'm having a bad set, I can put those in there and it can maybe turn the crowd around for me. So that's what I would trust as something I would put on TV. Like I don't think I would do the toothpaste joke now, but maybe in 6 months, I probably could do it. Yeah, because then I would have it in just like when I'm just doing stuff with my grandmother, I would just know where to put it. So if I'm focused on a set around my grandmother, then I'll just have all of the bits and stuff that it goes into making fun of my grandmother, and then it'll go into that theme.
Right.
So yeah. That's my process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, are there any jokes that are off limits for you that you just won't
do on
say?
TV? Yeah, I got a lot of them.
Or just
a lot of them won't come out until my grandmother passes away, because I don't want her business out there like that. But I'm doing it on stage, but I don't want it on TV or a special. So I gotta wait till like.
But you will say it.
I will do it, but it has to be after she couldn't watch it.
Is there anything else that doesn't have to do with, like, are there just topics that you just won't touch?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say I won't touch. I just like we're in a climate right now where black folks. I mean, we've always been dealing with injustices and with just the police killing black folks and stuff like that, and with Trump. I never got into like politics because like they get dated really quick, those jokes, and I hate writing jokes that I can't keep. Right. So like if I don't do week to week stuff or topical, because it's like I'm gonna have to throw it away eventually. And I know it's a good muscle in some aspects where if you write those kind of jokes for a certain lane of stuff, it could definitely work. Like if you're writing for late night or whatever, you need to learn how to do topical. But because I just do a set, I want to have bits that I can keep for a few years before I churn them out if I do like an album or something like that. So I like bits that I can keep in my set, and so I stay away from topical stuff because they get dated fast, and then a lot of comics are always doing them. Right. And I hate having to, I don't want to have people, well, here's my Trump thing. So I stay away from that. And like stuff like, like black kids dying, like Austin Sterling and Tamir Rice and all the hoodie stuff, I stay away from that because I just don't find it funny. Like things that I don't find funny, I won't do it. I just won't. Even stuff where I've been hanging out with my friends and just me being me was really funny to them, or I tell them something and they're like, yo, you should talk about that. And I'm like, nah, man, that's not funny. Like I just look at them like, I don't think that's funny.
But they think it's funny.
They think it's hilarious, But if it doesn't make, if I don't like it, if that's not funny, if I'm not passionate about it, I can't do it on stage because I don't believe in it. So I'm all about whatever the things that I'm passionate about. That's what I'll talk about on stage.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm passionate about stuff that's going on in the country, the state of America, and things like that, and what's going on in the world. Because having family in a third world country, seeing poverty over there. Just trying to help and do things that I can. Like I'm not like oblivious to none of this. I pay attention to everything, but it's just that I feel like there's a different way you can do things to address that, and I'm not going to do it in stand up. Maybe not now. Maybe someday when I can learn how to make it funny or find a funny in there, but I don't find it funny, so I'd rather not. So that's just me. Yeah.
I mean, I do feel that there's always something that you can say that can make any situation funny. Like I do firmly believe that.
Yeah, I don't think that's not
how to do
the how. Yeah. I'm too just like, that's just not funny to me. Like it's just the stuff that's going on with us, man. Like and like we could leave today and we driving off and get pulled over, man. I had a comedian Ron G. Ron G. Has he done the show before?
He has done the show.
Yeah. I mean, he was just telling me the other day how he kind of had a traumatic experience because he got pulled over and had guns put in his face, and it was just like, yeah, man, And he, you just thoughts is racing, your heart's beating. You know what could happen. So I just don't find that stuff funny right now, man. Like, I don't know if I'll ever find that funny. Yeah. But I'm sure there's a joke in there. Like, I mean, I'm a dark guy. I have edgy stuff to me, so I know I could. If I really tried, I probably could think, but I just don't want. It's just I can't. Yeah.
Would you ever apologize for a joke that you said?
I wouldn't apologize. I won't apologize for a joke. I don't intentionally want to hurt anybody though. So I feel like I'd feel bad for how they took it, but I'm not gonna apologize for saying it. No. Okay. Yeah, and I've said that before. Like one time, somebody got mad at a joke I said, and I said, "Look, I'm not gonna be sorry that I'm sorry that you took it this way, but know that wasn't my intention for you to feel that way about the joke." Like so, but
you're gonna keep.
I'm keeping it. Yeah, oh yeah. That's not gonna happen.
Well, no, I mean, because you see these comics, the Tracy Morgans and the Daniel Tosh's, who've had to apologize.
Tosh apologized?
Yeah,
I don't see Tosh. He apologized?
Yeah.
Was it like a written statement, or he verbally apologized? Because if it was a written statement, that's the network that wrote that.
I don't remember what it was, but because he has his show on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
So like, it was a thing to where he's like, okay.
I mean, he pushes the envelope. So I can't imagine him being. I've watched him do stand up. He's hilarious. Like, this kind of stuff that he does on stage, I'm like, you apologize? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. Well, no, because I think like it became a thing because he was out here in LA. I believe it was at the Laugh Factory, and it was a rape joke.
Oh yeah, Raped by the Pack of Wolves thing.
Something like that. Yeah, but I guess it was like at someone or someone felt that he like directed that joke.
Right. They took it to them personal,
and then it became this like real big thing. And
right. Like I remember Tracy's thing that it was the homophobic joke, and that's just. I mean, Tracy, he's a cool dude. I felt, people have opinions about him. I feel like he just knows how to play the game, and with him, man, he's just about that check. So he wants to keep his check. So the network was like, hey, man, this is NBC. We have a lot of money people that watch the show. You got to say something. And then he apologized. So, that's his choice. And, some people don't have the integrity to maybe say, you know what, on the greater scale of it, what is it? I mean, obviously, stand-up, we're supposed to fight for our freedom of speech and stuff. But, I mean, everybody has a different value set. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. I mean, but has the current climate changed the way that you go about?
Oh, not at all. No. It doesn't affect me because like I'm all my material is more personal. I'm making fun of myself. I'm just I talk about my family, so it's not gonna get on that kind of offensive scale because it's all about me. Like you can't be offended about something that I went through.
Right.
That's just not how you gonna be mad about my flaws in life.
Someone's gonna find something.
You can find something, but I won't never apologize for something that I went through. Or whatever weird shit that I that's in my personality trait. So I don't apologize.
What about these joke thieves that are out here running amok? Because here's the thing, because there's like two types, right? Because there's the stand-up thief.
Okay.
And then there's the internet thief
who take bits from stand-ups.
Right. And then they now post it, and now they got
I hate it, man. Like I've been vocal on Facebook. I used to be really vocal on Facebook a few years ago. I don't know. I calmed down now. I don't go hard as much in terms of statuses, but like I don't like the internet comedians that do that because it's just not creative. They don't even like mention or at least give some kind of recognition to the person you're taking it from. They don't even. They just don't care. Like I've seen a chick, she did somebody's bit in one of her like rant videos, like she talks to girls like, when such and such, and then she was like, well, I don't care, like I do this shit better. Like she just blatantly said like it don't matter, I do this shit funny. People fuck with me when I did it.
Right.
That was her reason for taking it. So
she just Carlos Mencia the entire thing.
She had. I mean, they really gangster with it, man. Like you can probably check them and be like, yo, man, if you don't put this joke away, man, I'm gonna try and do something. So like they don't care. Comedians ain't fighting for these jokes. So I mean, they used to. I've heard stories in the '90s when cats used to fuck each other for stealing jokes. I've never had that situation where somebody's stealing my jokes. So I'm kind of in this place where like I feel like I'm a good comic, but they say like you're not really a funny comic until people are stealing your shit. I'm like, damn. So I guess I'm all right then.
Yeah, they haven't started to steal.
Yeah, people ain't stealing my shit, so I guess I ain't dope yet. Right. But it just people my stuff is still personal, so people would know that that's my shit. Right. I think so, anyways. And I got into one little touchy issue where I got called out, but I didn't steal. So comedian Godfrey, you know, he talks about a lot about his African stuff, and he, you know, we kind of do this. He used to do this shtick where people say, "Oh, you're black. I thought you were regular black," and I never saw him do that on TV. So I used to have a part of my joke where I would say regular black and do the line, but then I took it into my own direction. I didn't, you know, he has a different direction he takes it after he does the regular black punchline, and so he thought I was doing his stuff, and I explained to him, "Nah, man, I never." Like, I can show you, go on stage and show you what I do, but I dropped it and I rewrote the joke and I found something better to do with it, and I'm happy that I did that. And he appreciated that I did that, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I don't want any tension, because you're like one of my favorite comedians, so why would I would never steal from you. And he's let me open for him. You know, we work, you know, we hang out, we talk every now and then. So yeah, my thing was, I don't want to have any kind of thing that's like that similar. I always rather remove myself from it. So yeah, just respect comedy, man. I respect the craft. I don't want to steal or be known as a thief or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can have a nice little career if you you steal some great jokes.
Yeah, people have made great livings.
Yeah,
just not relying on being creative. And writers too. Man, they just go into clubs, watch, and then, you know, submit them one-liners and give them to their boss so that they can keep their jobs. I mean, you know, there was a lot of the stuff with the Amy Schumer, like, it's been so touchy-feely because, like, I think Amy Schumer is a talented comedian. You know, like, I like Trainwreck. I went to see her movie. I watched some of the show. I've seen some of her stand-up. I think she's a very talented girl. But, man, when there's that much evidence of her stealing all across the board, or possibly because of the show, and somebody made the point where it's like she pumped out like a lot of comedy material just from all the different mediums and stuff she did. So it could happen, but I'm like, yeah, but I mean, these veteran female comedians who've been around for years, they say like these are some word for word joints, and it's kind of like hard to. You see the video, the parallel.
No, I mean, like my take, just real brief on Amy Schumer. I feel she's a very intelligent woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also feel that she is a sex comic, though. Like at the end of the day, even though she claims that she's not, but I'm like, I watched her special. I'm like, 30 minutes of that was sex.
It's a lot of sex stuff. It's horror jokes and
right. I'm like, you know, I mean, and that's okay.
Right,
you know,
there's nothing wrong with that, but just. Spade's a spade. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and then, but I also feel too that like when you're at that level, like when you're at a certain level like that, that you have to be more creative in your thought process. You know, because like when you have comedians like Jerry Seinfeld's, you know, and you had like George Carlin, you had like Richard Pryor, you had these comedians who, you know, their thought process was so different, which is what made them
the greatest, which is why some people have like issues with how the comedy industry or the entertainment industry is bigging her up as the best comedian right now, because a lot of people feel like she's decent, but she's not like,
I wouldn't give her, like, she's not funnier than Ellen. You know, like if you want to go like female comic versus female comic, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or Ellen or Wanda. I don't think so. Like she's had some stuff that made me laugh, but I just don't go like damn, she's amazing start to finish. Like she's good, but you know, and she just needs that
change, and then and then she can become like
absolutely
the biggest thing.
Absolutely, because the work ethic is there. Right. You know, she writes her ass off. You know, cranking all that stuff out. I just it's weird with her. I want to believe that she's original. You know what I mean?
I mean, we all want to believe everyone.
Man, I'm such a naive person. Like, I want to believe you.
Right.
But the evidence,
the compelling
evidence.
Right.
Yeah, it's
right.
I don't know. Yeah,
so you're in LA now.
Yes, I moved out here. I'm like 2 weeks and some change in.
2 weeks in.
Yeah, man.
What, and because you've been out in LA before, so this isn't, you're not just like a brand new LA version.
Thank God I'm not. I couldn't do it. I have respect. I have the utmost respect for any comedian who comes from their city to start in LA, or just starting in LA. I don't know. I don't think I could have done it.
Really?
I really like how I did it, going to New York, get my chops in. Then I wanted to visit LA always, because I wanted to see, could I see myself living here? Could I like it, the scene? And then when the opportunity came along to move, that's when I decided to move. But I don't think I could have started in LA, just because the way you guys, like, the scene is so spread out. Like, you know, obviously people just want Hollywood stuff at first, but it's so little in Hollywood, so you have to do all these mics and carpool and then drive everywhere and burn gas and just to try and get up a few times a night. And there's the people who do get a lot of mics and then some shows in a night. Yeah. But the way you have to do that,
it's tough.
It's tough, man. And there is work if you're willing to leave Hollywood. Like, you can drive to 30 minutes, 40 minutes here and get in these little circuits of shows. But it's super difficult. I like how I did it, man. Just having people that I know, because I don't feel like a stranger here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like I've been here, because a lot of people thought I lived here.
Really?
You know, because you can go like 8 months without seeing somebody, you just figure they're doing their thing, and then they're back and like, oh, you back in town, whatever like that. I was like, nah, man, I was back in New York. You know, I was just taking extended visits out here. Because I started coming out here like the end of 2012.
Okay.
Top of 2013, doing my I do 6 weeks, 2 months. 3
Oh,
months,
okay.
like twice a year.
You were doing like
I was spending some serious time out here learning the scene and getting on and meeting people and stuff like that. And so, yeah, man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't have done it. Just LA, knew everything. Nah.
What's the biggest difference between LA and New York comedy wise? I mean, like, you know, besides
in the stand up scene or just in the other stuff, comedy and like as a comedian, just for all the things that's available to us.
You know, both. So in the stand up scene and everything else.
You know, because I don't want to say like New York cats don't shoot stuff, because we do. Like, there's a lot of New York stand-ups who do sketches. They're trying to do the Instagram stuff, but I mean, they're just on it more in LA. Like, y'all team up together more. You know, with the cross promoting on the gram. When Vine came out, I saw a lot of guys who were stand-ups doing Vines and Instagram videos. Now you guys do more, and there's New York guys doing it too. But it's just different. Y'all really like team up, and I mean, there's cliques in New York too, but here there's a lot of cliques.
It's very cliquish.
It's very cliquish, and I made it my business to be cool with all the cliques, but not in a clique, because I can't. I'm just my own person at the end of the day, and I don't want to be attached to anything. I was attached to a group thing one time, and it didn't work out at all. We called the Little Rascals of Comedy. It was like me and like 4 or 5 other friends who are doing absolutely well. Like we had a talented group, but yeah, we lasted one show. And so I wouldn't do I'm not into the group thing. Like, I have my friends, I have my really like best friends of comedy. I'm cool with everybody. You know, I respect the clique thing. It's just I don't think I could do that though, because it's just people just want to attach you to certain things, and then you can't leave that impression off people's minds. Like, they just keep you in that same box. So and the more differences is that like you guys get stuff more done during the day, I think. You know, like I hear, you know, New York guys write, they do this the same with writing packets and pilots. You guys do that, but it's just here, there's just another level of the daytime hustle that you guys are into because of the work that's available. Like, there's more voiceover, there's more commercial, there's more, you know, acting.
Extras and background work.
So, yeah, the daytime hustle is a little bit extra, but I mean, stand up in New York, we're always going to beat out every other city in the world, I think, because you can get up 4 to 5 quality shows a night once you kind of in the mix, once you're kind of in the thick of it as a comic, you know. There's guys who do a lot of mics too in New York. Got to start out doing a bunch of mics, paying out of pocket or going to these mics, and then maybe get some shows. But once you're like a working comic in New York, you can get like 4 or 5 gigs a night, 3, 4 if you want to. So you top out maybe 20 shows a week, and then some. I don't think you can do that in LA. I think you can get like 2 or 3 a night. Yeah. And that's good too. That's still really good.
I mean, yeah.
Because most cities you can't do that. So LA is a good second fiddle. But then LA has an advantage too, because you guys have great road clubs. So where you get to work as a host, feature, headliner, you get to leave LA and get in a place to do time. Right. You can do great time. New York, you can't do that. New York, we have like 2 clubs where there's a host, feature, headliner, but it's, you know, it's kind of not even like host. Sometimes they book like 2 people after the host and then the headliner. And then the only other place, there's like maybe 3 other clubs in that radius. LA got like 10 improvs. I got like like punchlines. I got like these Ventura, these places an hour out. So there's a lot of these road clubs where you can get that experience that you really can't do in New York, because everything is short sets in the city, short sets, maybe 20 tops. So you know, I think both are great, man. I think my thing is the city doesn't make the comic your desire. It's all the desire. If you want to be good, you can be good in another city. And there's great comics in Chicago. There's great comics in Atlanta. Yeah. You know, that the city didn't hold them back. It's just, you know, they got to enhance it because they were in New York and LA where they can get up more. But they wanted to be really good. So I'm not for thinking that, oh, you can't be good in LA. Like, obviously there are some, my friends who've been going to mics, he's like, there's some awful comics out here. Like, maybe when you start out, the pool is the talent pool or whatever. But I just feel like if you want to be good, you'll do what you got to do to be good.
I mean, there's
bad comics in New York too. So it's just like, with me, it's just like, it's the same shit. People just want to separate themselves from each other so much. Right. And I think, like, because New York has more clubs in the city, on a night-to-night basis, you'll probably see more quality comics in the clubs than you see in LA. But that's only because Hollywood, there's only 3, 4 main clubs. So it's like, those guys are, you know, just only these amount that's playing every night, as opposed to New York that has this amount. More amount. It's just a numbers thing. Right. That's it.
But then you also get those people who like, let me try stand up.
Yeah, that's definitely all right. So
that.
One thing New York don't like is these dabbling motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, so there's LA guys who are actors or whatever like that, and they want to put their toes into stand up,
Right.
and they're taking up space
Right.
because we know in
Right.
3 months you're not gonna be doing stand up. Like, you're not
Right.
committed to the cause, because this is a cause right here. Like, we blood, sweat, tears, long trips. Shows for drinks, shows for chicken wings, for drink tickets. Like this is what we do, and you're just doing this because you haven't had a movie in a few years, and you want to maybe find another way to keep your income stable. So for cats who don't take it seriously and they just put their foot in, but they're not really committed to building a set, building an act, we take major issue with that. So and that just it dilutes the game. So I think that's
true.
Yeah, and then the same thing with the Vine and Instagram ones, because they have a big following.
Right.
People tell them, yo, you can go on the road, make crazy money.
Right.
They want to go on the road and they bomb. I mean, I think guys have talked about this on your show too, but it's like, my thing is because there are cats who can do both. Like, I think Tony Baker is one of the funniest. He's a really funny stand-up, and I think he's great online. Like, he's one of my favorite Instagram guys who does skits and stuff like that.
He's also just like a funny person.
He's just funny.
Yeah,
but he has an act. So if he were to go viral, one of his characters, one of his skits, and they want to throw him $5,000 to $10,000 to shows, he's gonna kill that shit. Because he's been chopping his stand-up, getting his reps up. Right. Another cat, Rito Brown, hilarious. Rito puts out funny ass videos, original Instagram videos and whatever, and then he kills it on stage too. So it's possible, but there's just guys who don't want to really put in the work. They want to get up, where they can get up a couple of times and think because they got 5 minutes
that right.
It's just.
But also like those guys were stand-ups first.
Those guys were stand-ups first, and then they learned to just they made the adjustment. Right. But I know there's one exception to the guys who are Instagram or online comedians and who've made the crossover, like King Batch. I hear he's pretty solid doing stand-up. He's been getting up and trying to work his.
I mean, I've watched him grow.
Right. You see him grow. Right. And that's all you can ask for, is that because he's really trying. If he's trying, how can you be? Whether you like his act or not, you can't say he's not putting in work.
This is true.
That's all my thing is. If you're gonna put in work, then it's all good. Like, what's his name?
Joe Coy took him on tour.
Took him on tour. Let's get your chops up, man.
Yeah.
So as long as you're willing to just do it every night or a few nights a week, where you can say I'm getting up every night, a couple of nights a week. That's fine with me, man. I respect it. I'm not, I don't knock those guys at all, man. It's another lane to make money, man. There's guys who made hundreds of thousands of dollars and get ads and shit like that. Like, I can't do it, but hey, more power to you.
What do you think has been the biggest thing that you've learned in your comedy career thus far?
Biggest thing that I've learned, man, I really wish I was more successful for my first interview here. Because I feel like I'm always learning something new every day. I think the biggest thing that I'm learning, man, is really just to be myself. Like, I would say for I'm 95% sure I haven't changed since I started. I've just been nice to people. I've treated people well. I've treated them as equals, nothing less. And me being outgoing and willing to talk to people has gotten me on some shows. Got me opportunities that wouldn't have if I had just been so just quiet to myself. Right. Like, I just think you being vocal and outgoing and just respectful of other folks will take you farther than anything. Like, even it could outdo more than how funny I am on stage. Like, I feel like just me being who I am is and going after it is what's gonna keep me on the right path to being successful. So that's just what it is. I don't think there's anything else I could do. I'm gonna keep working on my craft, obviously, and getting up and doing stand up because I love it, and working on my traits as an actor and things like that, but just being myself, the core, just how I was raised and how I was taught to treat people. I think that's the best thing I've learned, just to keep doing that, because it's going to open up doors for you, things that you just couldn't have done even if you were the funniest comic in the world. Like, it's just,
and you have a likability factor,
right? And I was told that early on, like, yo, man, you might be able to you might get opportunities, man, just because people just like you, man. You just fuck with you, and don't take it the wrong way. It's not that you're not funny. It's not that you're not less than or whatever. It's just that, man, some people are just gonna be hip to you, and I've just learned to just say, embrace that. Don't look at it as a curse, or just like, I want people to like this more. Like, just appreciate what people appreciate about you.
And one thing that I've learned in Hollywood is, especially working in Hollywood, it's that, because you work long days, right? So you're around these people for a long time, right? So people have to like you, and if people like you, they'll hire you.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know, having that like likability factor, having that, hey man, Nick is cool, this and that, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Good dude.
Is
Good dude,
he funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
Right.
But he's a cool dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so like you take that with you your entire career, and people would just they'll just fuck with you.
Yeah, man. That's it. So yeah, I've learned that I don't have to be insecure about that.
No.
You know, just man.
Own it.
Own it. I'm owning it, man. Yeah.
What piece of advice
Okay.
would you give to someone? Because you've been in the game for a little minute, so I feel that you've learned a couple nuggets. You know what I mean? And so, like, if someone came up to you and was like, "Mr. Alexander," I don't know why they would say that, but
Mister, I don't even have a mustache on
Alexander.
today. You only get Mister when you got a mustache. That's the rule.
I mean,
It's growing in because I'm doing this Hollywood babyface shit right now. So.
What would you tell someone new who wants to get into the game? Like, what piece of advice could you give them that can help them start?
Start, man. Just really want this. Looking into the camera. Really go out. Like, if you say you want to be a stand-up, there's a difference, you know, between being a comedian actor, whatever. But in the stand-up, you gotta really, really want to do this, because the stuff that we have to go through. And I, you know, obviously, like, I've never had a real job. Like I don't know what it is to do 9 to 5. I don't know what it's like to serve my country in the military.
Excuse me.
I don't know what it's. Yeah, I've been very lucky, unfortunately. Like I know that my reality is definitely not a lot of comics' reality or people's reality in general. But I do feel like the stuff that we go through in this art form is just worse than what a lot of people on regular in their craft have to do. I just feel like the shit that we have to deal with in terms of how the politics and how you cannot get something because somebody didn't like a Facebook post, or you can lose out on an opportunity because of a tweet, or because you took a picture and then mentioned something else. Just the little nuances that can prevent you from excelling in this business and stand up. So you gotta really want to do this, because you know it'll really chew you up a lot of times. You know, you're going through hell just to get on shows. When you get booked, sometimes you have to deal with a bunch of bullshit from promoters or just from club bookers. You gotta wait in line. You gotta you gotta have the best amount of patience as possible. Like, you cannot be somebody who's just impulsive. It's just not gonna work out. So you have to be really patient and really want to do this, because, I mean, you know, it's just it'll chew you out, man.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years can fly by, and if you're not where you think you want to be, do you still have it in you to keep going? You know, do you really love to just make people laugh? And you have to ask yourself, like, if you're not at this level, just could you still see yourself doing this and whatnot? And I think I can. Like, I think even if I know where I want to be, and I feel like I know what I'm going to be doing in 20 years, but even if 20 years, let's just say I'm just a working comic, then I'm still on a level where just, you know, a lot of people, you know, just don't know me, but I still love making people laugh more than anything, because it's the best thing I've ever done. The happiest I've ever felt is when I'm on stage getting laughs. Just being in the clubs, being on the shows, you know, just with people I admire and like to see perform. So I know that I can do that till I'm 90, easy, just doing stand up, because it's like, it's also like one of probably the only skills I have. I really don't have much other skills, so this shit has to work. Right. But I really could see myself doing this, man, till I croak. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, wise beyond your years.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Alexander.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming in.
Yo, this flew by like crazy fast, man. Yeah, this is great.
You know, a lot happens when you're talking about yourself, huh?
I gotta get more interviews, man.
Where can people see you live next?
Okay, so I don't think I have anything next week. All my hot shows was this past week, but my next gig in LA is gonna be September 6th at the Dime Bar.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's in LA.
Yeah.
Fairfax.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're in LA, come see me at the Dime Bar. Adam Hunter, comedian Adam Hunter, hosts a great show every Tuesday night at the Dime Bar. So September 6th, you can come check me out. I guess I plug my social
online. Where can people find you?
If you want to follow me, you can find me at Nick of Comedy, NICKOFCOMEDY. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, even on Facebook, or you can Facebook Nick Alexander, but everything else is Nick of Comedy. Follow me, you know, fuck with me, man. Ladies, you want to DM me, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to
Slide-
DM me. You
slide
can
the
you can
news,
slide. You
basically
can
what he was
slide.
saying.
You know, if you want to get me on, if you want to have me come to your city, you know, you can email me nickofcomedy@gmail.com right now. I'm my own booking agent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Self hustler.
There you go.
That's just comic who's looking for an agent, right?
Get on his Black Planet.
Nah, none of that,
get
man.
on his
Nah,
Black
I'm not even gonna
meet.
mislead y'all, man.
Get on it.
I keep it real with the peoples out here. I ain't got that shit. My MySpace is closed, man. The last picture I had was me with $20 in tens and ones and braids, man. That's because every black dude in MySpace always had the braids with the money pose and do-rag in the hat. That's that's my last MySpace picture. But no Black Planet, no, none of that. Just all the new stuff. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Nick of Comedy. That's where you can find me, follow me, keep up with me, see what I'm doing.
There it is. And of course, you guys, you can follow me all over the internet at the Nick Purdue. So until next time, we'll see you soon.
Peace.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live. Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.